on, give your name. My name is?
My name is Robert. Microscopes. Before the invention of the microscope, people didn't know what caused sicknesses. If they don't know what caused the sickness, they won't be able to create cures. Without cures, more and more people will be sick. This is a problem because many people will die every day. Also, people with sicknesses would pass the sickness to one another. So that way, more people would die and the population would be lower than usual. The solution is microscopes. There are many microscopes, but they are usually only used for science, sickness, and investigation. China invented the microscope, but Zachary Janssen invented the real microscope. He discovered the solution by one day he was in the business of grinding lenses for eyeglasses. Some of his lenses made things look bigger. Since of the lenses, Janssen learned that two lenses made things look a lot bigger. Microscopes are used to cure illnesses. For example, if I have a virus inside my stomach, doctors will drill a hole about a square millimeter. And then they will attach a tiny microscope on a tube which connects to a computer. Then they will put the microscope into my stomach through the hole, and the microscope will take a microscopic picture of the virus. The picture is then transferred to the computer where the doctors study. As I mentioned in the last paragraph, microscopes can be also used for science and investigations. I hope you learned a lot about microscopes.
All right, very good. Now let's ask your classmates. All right, who thinks Robert did a good job? Raise your hand. All right, cool. All right. Isabel, can you give me a comment about Robert? Something he did well?
His microphone was perfect.
All right, that's very good. He spoke very loudly, so we could all hear him. What about you, Anthony?
99.
All right.
What?
Okay, good. Why did you give him a 99?
He was very clear.
Yeah, I agree. I think you spoke
was
very
very loud.
loudly and clearly, and we could all hear.
Why did you
everything
give
said.
him a 99? Why did you give him a 99.9?
Really? My name is Adelaide. How and why the cell phone was invented. This is a big problem. People don't have any other phone except the phone they have at home, so they can't talk with someone who is on the phone. The solution to this problem is that Martin Cooper invented the cell phone, which helped everybody because we can now communicate very easily when we're not at home. Martin Cooper invented the cell phone in the 1970s, and he showed it to the public in New York. He was inspired to invent the cell phone because people needed a phone to communicate with, not only in a house. People need to communicate wherever they are. Martin Cooper worked for Motorola, and at that time the R&D departments at rival corporations had competition among them to invent the portable cell phone. There were first car phones, which were the original mobile phone. Martin Cooper thought that human-centered mobile phones were the next step. There were 8 people on the team, and they had to do it in 6 weeks. They were lucky that Motorola had expertise with semiconductors. The team filed a patent for the phone and a radio telephone system. I think the problem is completely fixed. Similar problems are that people don't have a mobile device they can carry around like a mini computer. This is a problem because people can check and read their emails, download apps, etc. when they're not at their home. Now people can do all of that on a phone. Technology has really progressed.
Hi, my name is Alex. My topic is about the light bulb. Before candles were invented, people were constantly bumping in the dark, not knowing where they were going. This is a problem because they could bump each other, get hit, and fall down, causing injuries. So, to solve the problem, Joseph Swan Thomas Edison, Humphrey Davy, and Louis Latimer invented the light bulb. Not really Louis Latimer. The purpose is to help stop people bumping around. This was solved so that people can stop chaos in the dark. Times vary for when the light bulb was invented. Joseph Swan invented it in 1878, Edison in 1879, Davy in 1800. Louis Latimer didn't invent it, but he greatly improved Edison's light bulb. Swan invented it in England, Edison and Davy in America. This was helpful because if nobody invented light bulbs, then we would have no method doing anything in the dark. Yes, I think the problem is completely solved. In most houses today, there are light bulbs installed, so flick a switch and the problem solved. I think in the future, I think the light bulb will be modified to be a more advanced technology to make things easier.
All right.
My name is Riley. Talking to others far away. A long time ago, people had a really hard time talking to each other far away. For example, some young people may need to leave home to a faraway place for school or work. They would be missing their family, and their family would also be missing them. And they may not have a way to communicate directly for days or months or even years. That is a big problem. One of the first solutions to the problem was sending letters. Paper was invented by Loom about 1,800 years ago in China. He made paper from bark, hemp, borax. Then he took them together, cut it and washed it and cooked it in a giant pot. Then he put them on the wall to dry. Then the English alphabet was invented by Anglo-Saxon settlers. It is a Latin alphabet composed of 26 letters, and the outline of the printed letters changes depending on the dawn. With letters, people express love and care from faraway places. But letters weren't always a good idea because sometimes they got lost or got sent to the wrong place. The second solution is the telephone. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone on 1876 in Brantford, Ontario, and later physically created the telephone in Boston. The old telephones were heavy and bulky. They are difficult to carry, which made them hard to use for people who were traveling on the road. Then Martin Cooper invented the cell phone in April 1973. Now people can talk to people on the other side of the world at almost any time, and anywhere with a simple dialing of numbers. My name is Flora, and today I'll be talking about how technology helps solve the problem of transportation. In the old days, people who lived far apart had a rough time seeing each other. The two common ways people used to travel was by walking or by horse. Both of these methods were very slow for traveling to far places. They are both slow because both people and horses have a limited time until they get exhausted, and it is very difficult for them to travel during the bad weather. For a long time, people have been searching for a faster and easier way to travel. Finally, scientists came up with the engine-driven automobile. The first gasoline-powered automobile was made by Carl Benz, a German inventor around 1885 to 1886. That was considered to be the first true automobile. Carl Benz was a very intelligent engineer who wanted to travel to places faster. Benz had a dream of designing a horseless carriage, so he created a reliable gas engine. Then he decided to build something similar to a bike, but with a motor. More engineers became interested to the product, and they reworked on the product to make it faster, lighter, and powerful. Traveling by car is the most popular and affordable choice for personal traveling. There are other ways to travel, for example, by airplane, boats, or trains. Cars are popular because you are in control of when and where you want to go.
But we are not stopping here. Scientists are still looking for improvements because we want an automobile that can travel faster but causes less pollution. As a new technology is being developed every day, we will finally figure out a better way for us to travel.